Welcome to the John Lake Centre. So we've got guided tours 9, 10:30, 11:30, 1:30, which is us, and 2:30. Pretty flash. Hello.
Hello, Graham. Welcome to the John Lake Centre.
Thank you. Trish?
Nice to meet you.
Yes. And what do we do first here?
We have a touch tank here. We have turtles. They accrue naturally here on the site,
Yes.
so they come out of our ponds.
And I can touch them?
You certainly can. It's a touch tank for that reason.
Ooh.
This fella's a bit shy at the minute, but I'll lift him up so you can see.
Oh, there he is. Hello.
Oh, he's going to splash you while he's at it.
Is he cute?
Yeah, he's been with us for a while. We've got some little teeny baby ones. There's one here. Almost looks like a rock. He's so tiny, he's going to skittle away on me. Hey, little fella. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Look how little he is.
And just turn him over. Can I have a look on the other side?
The coloration on
Oh, look at
there.
that.
Yeah.
Oh.
I've got 3 of them. There's 2 sitting here. Oh, and 1 over in your corner. They look like a rock. They're so tiny.
Oh, I can feel the little legs.
Yeah, I know. Sweet. They're big. The small children just adore these turtles. Actually, all the kids do. So we've got some in-between size here. So we've got a couple of little ones.
That's pretty cool.
You'll probably want to dive off, yeah?
Yeah, they do. Oh, well done. That's good fun.
Yeah. It's great to have something tactile for the students. We're going to go into our 65-seat theatrette.
Okay.
And we'll have a bit of a chat about the site.
Yes.
And why it's called the John Lake Centre.
Oh, good. Okay,
So
let's go. Here's the theatrette here. Gee, that's pretty flash. Yeah.
Yeah. Anywhere you'd like to sit.
Yeah. Oh, they look like the comfy chairs there.
They are. That's where our teachers normally sit.
Okay, I'll sit there. Thank you.
Lake Centre. This is the education advisory facility attached to the Narrandera Fisheries.
Yes.
So the fisheries has been here since 1962.
Yep.
John S. Lake was the biologist that established the site initially.
Okay.
So a lot of things that John put in place we still benefit from today. So the work that he did was well and truly ahead of his time.
Yes.
Currently we're producing Murray cod, trout cod, silver perch and golden perch.
Oh, wow.
We're right into production at the moment. This is the middle or the first third anyway of our breeding season. So the guys in the hatchery are flat out. But we'll take you up there later and we'll show you our new facility.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
So is that because this is the time you're not allowed to catch Murray cod or cod because it's their breeding season? Is that correct?
Yes, the Murray cod season does technically start on the 1st of December.
Oh, okay.
But we produce fish here from September through to March.
Okay.
And that can be variable with the weather, a bit like farming in general. You know, you can control all manner of things, but the weather has a mind of its own.
Oh, well.
As you realise, because it's cooler today and it was really hot the last few days, so it varies.
And a bit of rain last night.
Yes, a bit of wild weather here last night. We deposit fish from as far south as the Murray and as far north as Copeton and Pindari Dam.
All right.
Out to the west past Broken Hill. To the east we stop at the Blue Mountains.
Right.
We have a sister site in Port Stephens.
Yes.
And they take over from there. We share a database and on occasion some staff, but basically they're the saltwater guys and we're the freshwater.
Oh, okay. Yep.
This site here at Narrandera is the largest inland freshwater fisheries in Australia, and that's based on the hectares that we're on, the amount of ponds that we have.
Yep.
We don't sell any fingerlings to the public. I get that inquiry 3 times a day. But aquaculture is alive and well in the Riverina region. So there are places, local, private, commercial hatcheries that will sell you fingerlings for your farm dam. We don't. Like I said, that's one of my most frequently asked questions.
Okay, so if you're actually thinking of asking that question, don't, okay?
Well, it's just, I can direct you.
Yep.
People ring and I say, well, where are you located? And I can direct them to the most, the clearest one for them to find. But again, as far as pricing for fingerlings and quantities and all that sort of thing, you're best to talk to that supplier.
Yep.
Is a New South Wales Fisheries, and we get a lot of funding through the Recreational Fishing Trust, which is who you pay your fishing licence to. So if you come to visit Narrandera Fisheries, that will go a long way to appeasing what people think about their fishing licence. And I've had people from other states that don't have fishing licences and they've often commented to me, oh, I wish we did because we would have places like this. I mentioned before our research component. They travel extensively throughout the state. They often leave here early in the week and they don't get back to the very end of the week.
And there's lots of rivers and streams and creeks around the place, so it's perfectly situated.
Well, John S. Lake chose Narrandera because of its the Murrumbidgee River.
Yes.
We're 0.6 of a k as the crow flies from here to the river system itself.
Yep.
He chose this site because we have a natural undulation of land, which means when the Murrumbidgee River does flood, it doesn't compromise what we're doing with the fish. It does stop us getting to work. In that regard, we have 3 residences on site, so we can have technical staff, workshop staff, hatchery staff residing with those families in 3 of those homes. So security-wise for what we do, that's all covered.
So it's interesting because Murrumbidgee is like the 2nd biggest river in Australia, and it actually feeds into the Murray.
Yes.
So fish that you release here could end up in the Murray.
Absolutely, and with the flooding that we've had,
yes,
because we face a few natural occurrences, of course. We have flooding, we have droughts that last longer, we've had COVID more recently, we've had bushfires to contend with from the research perspective as well. So it's changing and evolving, and when you least expect it, something different will emerge. Another great aspect of this site, thank you again to John S. Lake, was the fact that we have a natural bore here on site. So when we are impacted by drought, we don't add to that woe of the river by drawing water from the river. We can tap into that bore. We have a reservoir at the back, so when the floods are on, we can fill that reservoir. We've got it there to temper down the water from the bore if we need to. So there were lots of really good things put in place. Even John's ability to build the ponds and harvest the fish the way he does, we still utilise that. Yes, we use computerisation, we use drones, we have a more modern technology, but the essence of what John put in place back in the early 1960s, we still benefit from today.
Oh, very good. So what about tagging fish or tracking fish? Does that happen at all nowadays?
Oh yes, definitely. That's what I was talking about before with the follow-up.
I get you.
Definitely do follow up in that regard, and it has further endorsed the fact that the hatchery boys are releasing sustainable fish into the system. So we're very proud of the fact that the Murray cod, trout cod, silver perch and golden perch that we produce here are a good quality, sustainable fish.
Very good.
Excellent.
Excellent.
A Murray cod female can produce between 60 and 100,000 eggs per year.
Wow, it's lots.
Yeah, that's a lot, and if we can get 60,000 viable eggs per female here on site per year, we're really happy with that. Just as a comparison, a female mature carp can produce up to 500,000 eggs 3 times a year. So it's the biomass that is the issue with the carp.
Okay.
As I've spoken to you off air, there are many cultures eating carp now, and everyone that's eaten's one less we have to deal with. So if you're feeling adventurous, try some carp. I believe it comes down to the preparation. A lot of people like to soak the fillets in milk. Some people believe that you must purge the fish for 2 or 3 days prior to prepping it. The European and Asian cultures probably definitely have that down pat, and they have great success with it. So I'm not criticising, I'm encouraging, if anything, for people to eat carp, because there's just less in the system.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yes.
And who we got in here?
We affectionately call him Agro, so he's waiting to meet you. You can see he's got a lot of anticipation of your visit.
He is big.
He is. He's approximately 29 years of age, just over 20 kilos in weight, and about 1 metre 2 centimetres in length.
Wow, look at him.
An interesting fact about the Murray cod is they continue to produce right up until 50 years of age.
Oh, really?
So the females produce until they die.
You can see me. And so we've got some Macquarie perch and Moni brim here. Trout cod, he's a bit shy, this one. He's gone hid behind the branch. We've got redfin and common carp and goldfish. That's, know which ones are the carps. Yes, we know you. And then we've got golden perch and freshwater catfish. And then we've got silver perch. Very good eating fish, actually. Here we go. So this is the new building.
This is that build's new building. So come with me up the stairs to the mezzanine level.
It's a bit flash.
It is. It's very nice. We were very fortunate to get a government grant for this building.
Yes.
And it's up and running. This is our second season. But we still have a little bit of a way to go, as you can tell from the mezzanine level.
Yeah.
Hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll have tables, chairs and some interactive boards for student groups, which will be fabulous. So we have 22 tanks in this new build.
Yes.
Our previously used hatchery for this purpose is on the northern side, and it has 16 tanks, so we've more than doubled our capacity. We have a vacay unit there in the corner.
Yes.
That's that piece of apparatus with the blue material hanging down.
Yep.
Yes, we would place that blue tubing in one of these tanks, and there'd be blue tubing attached to the other end into another tank. There's a computer in the middle. We do a weight per ratio with the small fingerlings, and we would pass them from one tank into the other. They're all in water, so they're perfectly comfortable, and it will come up with a figure virtually within 5 minutes of the volume of fish that we put through. So that's one of my most frequently asked questions is how many fish do you have and how do you know how many fish you've got? Yeah. And they're the biggest fans you've ever seen, aren't they?
They are very big. So these tanks all the same, or do they fish progress as they get bigger to different?
No, they're all the same, and they will be used for different purposes at different times. They're all salt washed out in between, so they're kept very clean. I don't know what occupancy there is at the moment because they've got the lids closed, but they do that to keep them in the dark. They're not stressed. You know, they're fairly comfortable. The water temperature is just right for them, and there's no stress value once they're in these tanks.
Good.
Come right up this end.
Yep.
We should see some eggs and some very small fries. These will be staying with us in here during their most vulnerable time. And then they will go outside into a grow-out pond.
To take their chance.
Yeah, the chances are still pretty good here. Yeah, that's pretty good. So, these were all full last week, and we had around 800,000.
Wow.
Sitting, waiting, taking their time.
So those brown, is that just sediment or?
Yeah, they're little, they're little tiny murray cod.
Because the ones in the movie were actually on a board. Is that the same thing? There's the boards over there.
Table.
Yes, got that. Yep.
So I can tell you some when we go back outside because it's around this corner.
Yep.
But we have cod drums here. I'll speak of the murray cod because they're our icon species. The cod drums came about because John S. Lake had a friend that had seen a large murray cod playing with a 44-gallon drum on his farm, playing with the 44-gallon drum had rolled into a dam. And John thought, well, we could improve on that, create artificial habitat. So we have, it's about 3/4 the size of a 44-gallon drum, but it's open-ended both ends, lighter weight aluminium on legs covered in black plastic. And the interior are these mesh sheets that are down here under the orange table.
Yes.
And that was what you just spoke of.
Yep.
They're placed on the base. The female goes in and releases her eggs. The male then goes in and covers them. We very cheekily then are watching those cod drums, and we will steal those sheets away. They're only wire tied in. Bring them back to a room below where we're standing here. They're placed into a large tank that circulates water as the current would in the river system, and they pick up those eggs. No picking, no scraping, no damaging them. We can get our optimum egg levels.
Yep.
And in using this process, we get all viable eggs. We have very, very minimal loss.
That's good.
Once they're in the water, then we can transfer them to here. Once they reach, and we've counted them out, if you look through that window, you can see a pond with the stairs leading up.
Yep, I see that one.
Yep, that's a grow-out pond. We'll place them in there, and basically the fish are on their own. That pond has been prepared by putting a small tractor and a scarifier in there in the layup season.
Yep.
We will, as we're filling the, then we put a layer of loosened hay on the bottom, slowly.
Yep.
Then we slowly fill the pond, and it's a combination of soil and water quality, energy from the sun and the loosened hay that create a natural organism called zooplankton. And that's all they eat, so they're on their own.
Right. So what size would they be when they go up there?
Yeah, when they go in there, they're smaller than that. By the time we send them off, they're between 4 and 5 centimetres. And that can depend on the species too. I was talking mainly about the cod. But they go 14 and a half hours in a temperature-controlled truck, taking them to Copeton or Pindari near the Queensland border. That's about 14 and a half hours.
Yeah. So when they actually go into the pond over there, do you separate the species or do they all go in together?
We only have one species in each individual pond. No, we don't mix them up at all. And once that pond is harvested, those fish will just head straight off in the truck. We don't grow out any fish to form the size the way a commercial business would. So we're not apples for apples.
So the stock that you use for breeding, do they get replaced? Where do they come from?
From the wild.
Oh, okay, they're from the wild.
The big cod, again, I'll refer back to the Murray cod. We keep them here for 5 years. And then we will GPS them, weather willing, GPS them back to the hole we got them out of.
Oh, good.
Obviously, if it's flooded or if it's drought
that's good.
or access isn't available.
Back to their folks.
Yeah, they all get to go home. That's correct.
Yeah, they've done the tour of duty. What are these things over here?
They're the quad drums.
Yeah, that's what you were talking about before.
Yes, that's what I was talking about before.
Yes.
Lightweight aluminium covered in black plastic. Mesh goes on the base, and they're open-ended both ends. So they're really user-friendly as far as our staff is concerned, and the fish consider them a habitat as they wouldn't a log in the wild. So the natural undulation here was of benefit when John came, because we didn't have to worry about the Murrumbidgee flooding. So from just left of that power pole, you can see the end of that pond. And then if you look to the right past that aeration that's bubbling away over there, you go a lot further up. That is a very large cod pond. And in a pond of that size, ideally we would only have 6 fish, 3 males, 3 females.
Oh, really?
Because they will fight.
Oh, really?
And that's not what we're about here. We're about sending them back to their home after 5 years of good service with us. I think you're going to have a little machine in the background.
And here's one of the workers. Is he going to give us a wave? No, he's too busy. He's on a mission. He's on a mission.
They all get to go home. So, and ideally we can GPS them back to the hole we got them out of. But these guys, we keep them separated, we keep them very well fed, and hopefully they go back in better condition than when we inherited them in the first instance. You can see the excavation equipment up there. We're building new ponds, so it's an exciting time.
You said 7 new ones, is that right?
Yes, it's an exciting time that's before the end of 2024, and it's really exciting times for the Narrandera Fisheries Centre.
So when we come back in a year or two's time, that'll be all up and running, and we'll be excited to see how it's going.
We run at 100% capacity all the time.
Oh, that's pretty good.
This means we've just got more room to play. Your farm there, because they won't eat your yabbies, guys.
Here they come.
They will go on a worm, however.
Yes.
But they are vegetarian, so they love their riparian vegetation. Like shoulder perch, because they're overfed by the tourists and living the life.
Yeah, lucky
they're very generous. In the wild, they're not quite as big as this. Well, Graham, thank you very much for coming to visit us at the John Lake Centre.
Yes.
We offer 5 tours daily, 5 days a week.
Yes.
We're not open on the weekend. I do get that inquiry quite often. We do have a little break between Christmas and New Year as well, but otherwise just give me a call on 0269 588 207.
Yes.
And we'll do our very best to accommodate you. We do ask you to book because we have a lot of school groups, we have a lot of coach groups, and we don't want to disappoint.
No. Okay, Trish, thanks so much. Really enjoyed the time here, and seeing all the fish and knowing that they're going to have happy outcomes is a really good thing.
Yes, we're very proud of the site here, and we hope to continue to do the excellent work that is done here for many, many years to come.
Beautiful. And we'll probably come back through in a couple of years and say hello again.
Yes, that'd be great.
Okay, see ya.
Thank you.